This is WDSU News at 10.
It's exceptionally unusual. I've never seen anything like this in all the years I've been doing this.
Tonight, a WDSU I-Team investigation into a repeat DWI offender. A man with 10 arrests who was still behind the wheel. Good evening. It's no secret that drinking and driving is a big problem here in the metro New Orleans area.
And Super Bowl Sunday is one of the big drinking days of the year. Last year, there were 53 DWI arrests statewide, and many multi-DWI offenders are still on the road. These are the multiple offenders in Orleans Parish during a random 18-month period. Tonight, in my I-Team investigation, a look at one extraordinary example of problems in the court system. One man, 10 DWI arrests, and no prosecutions. George Sims is a New Orleans businessman who's had plenty of run-ins with police since 1984, a span of nearly 30 years. He has 10 DWI arrests in Orleans Parish, and all 10 cases are still open. And Sims was still driving until we started asking questions.
Once you made that inquiry, all of a sudden he's remanded today. Yeah, and that's what happened.
Because of our investigation, traffic court became aware of Sims' pending DWI cases, and Judge Ronald Scholes quickly ordered Sims arrested last Monday night. Weeks before his arrest, our cameras caught Sims behind the wheel, leaving his business on Serampru Street in the Garden District. Sims bonded out Thursday night after 3 nights in jail. The next morning, we confronted Sims, and he wanted nothing to do with us. The driver of the car he was riding in sped away. Because the case is pending in Judge Scholes' courtroom, he told WDSU he could not comment on Sims' checkered past. Defense attorney Robert Jenkins, who is not connected to Sims' cases in any way, is stunned by the sheer number of pending DWIs and the fact that Sims was still driving.
You know, we always have this thing about DWI cases, making sure they go through the system, but again, I had never seen this before, and when you told me to be truthful, I didn't believe you.
So how do 10 DWI cases remain open? It appears Sims slipped through the cracks. Charlene Larsh Mason, the chief prosecutor in the city attorney's office, referred 8 of Sims' cases to the district attorney's office for prosecution in 2009. The problem with that is the DA's office typically does not prosecute someone until a third offense, making it a felony prosecution. And because Sims didn't have 2 prior DWI convictions in the past 10 years, the cases were kicked back to the city attorney's office where they stalled. In a statement to WDSU, the city attorney's office said, quote, "The city of New Orleans is committed to pursuing a criminal justice system that holds all defendants accountable. It is disturbing to know that any individual is capable of manipulating a court system in a manner that allows him to indefinitely flee from justice. The city attorney's office will prosecute all cases presented for trial in the New Orleans Traffic Court. In this particular matter, it does not appear that any of the cases in question were set for trial by the courts. It's totally unacceptable." The traffic court file on Sims is extensive, by many accounts the largest ever seen on anyone. Along with the DWI arrest, Sims has been ticketed for driving on a suspended license several times, switching his license plate, a hit and run, and reckless operation. He also ignored several arrest warrant notices and failed to appear in court. In his last DWI arrest in January of 2008, the arrest report detailed Sims' threats to police officers. According to the report, after refusing a breath test, Sims said, quote, "Blank your test. I'm going to beat this blank anyway."
That's unbelievable.
Ed Reeder lost his 22-year-old son in an unrelated drunk driving incident in 2006.
To have these people back on the road with continuances, with this and with that, and with judicial chess games, if I may use that term, is just unbelievable.
So unbelievable that the New Orleans Inspector General is interested in our investigation.
It appears that it's a pretty lenient court.
Ed Quattro was highly critical of traffic court in a report released by his office last year, and is on record saying traffic court is unnecessary and should be merged with municipal court. As I mentioned in the story, George Sims bonded out of jail Thursday night and is due back in court March 6th. Mayor Mitch Landrieu is up to speed on this case, and a spokesperson says the city is considering forwarding this case to the U.S. Attorney's Office for further investigation. Tomorrow night on WDSU News at 6, the Inspector General tells us exclusively about what he plans to do with all the DWI cases in traffic court. Remember, WDSU's best I-Team stories come from you, our viewers. If you have information on corruption or other wrongdoing that you'd like us to investigate, send an email to newsdesk@wdsu.com.
And now this story from Criminal District Court.